what's up, Lakerland? Duncan here. You know, it's a great time of the year. It's a good time to be excited. A lot of things happening with the team. Let's get into it for a few minutes. But before we do, please like the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications. Feel free to comment in the box below. And you can come find me on Twitter, YouTube, and pretty much Google Plus, and pretty much anything and everything. So, let's talk a little Lakers, and let's talk about what they've done this year. Right out of the bat, the first thing we did is we had a pretty good draft. We drafted a lot of defense and some shooters, and we got even more good, solid youth to add to our good core. But when free agency hit, we got the home run of free agents. We nailed LeBron James. LeBron's coming to LA. He's a Laker. So right out of the bat, you're talking about a guy that's been to 9 consecutive NBA Finals. A guy that is considered the greatest player in basketball today. And like usual, the Lakers have signed him. So let's get into why this team is already better than a lot of the experts say. First of all, I'm going to go into this defensive aspect. LeBron James has always been surrounded by scorers. He's always been surrounded by a bunch of players that fill stat sheets and do little odds and end things. But he's never really had guys that were defensive superstars or guys that really fit in around him. So let's get into this roster. First is our point guard position. We went out, we signed a veteran point guard, Rajon Rondo. He's a guy that won a title in Boston. He's been to the playoffs several times. And he's really just like Lonzo, except more experienced and a little bit more aggressive with scoring. But he's a very defensive-minded point guard who's extremely talented at finding open teammates, passing, distributing the ball, and the added element is a mid-range jumper. Okay, I expect Rondo to be starting this year and really motivating Lonzo into becoming the all-star that he should be. Rondo provides a lot of minutes, and he will help Lonzo stay healthy. But truthfully, that's the same player. That's 42 minutes of a hard-nosed, defensive-minded point guard that is pretty much going to always find open teammates. And when given the opportunity, he's going to score. So right out of the bat, your point guard position is pretty well stacked. Add in a Caruso, and suddenly you have serious playmakers just in the number 1 point guard position. So then you go to shooting guard. KCP is a friend of LeBron James. KCP is also one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. He's a guy that will defend every team's best player. He comes in, he's a 3-and-D guy. He shoots three-pointers, but what he adds on defense is what really makes this work. Because literally, LeBron James has never had that type of defender around him. And KCP is a guy that really creates the transition the Lakers like to run. So when he takes steals, disrupts passes, and things like that, he gets the ball, he's initiating the first pass, and boom, just like that, the Lakers are running transition. Now, coming off the bench is Josh Hart. Josh Hart is already proven to be one of the top defenders in the league. He's coming out, he was a rookie last year, but he played extremely well on the defensive side. Plus, he was able to shoot a few threes, and he was able to drive to the basket. He averaged like 12 or 13 points a game as a rookie, coming off the bench. He's a guy that I can see competing as maybe a 6th man for us, but instantly, you've guaranteed that the Lakers for 42 minutes are going to be stacked defensively at shooting guard. So now you're talking about, well, where do the points come from? Well, at small forward, you have Brandon Ingram, who is already emerging as a 19, 20 point a game guy. You add in a guy like LeBron, who's literally going to take every team's best defender, leaving Brandon pretty much defended by subpar defenders, which is going to elevate Brandon Ingram's points per game. Now, Ingram is a lengthy scorer, but he is getting better at using his length to get in the passing lanes, to disrupt pretty much opponents' flow of game, and to create steals. He's getting very good at pretty much taking the ball away from the other team and finishing. He can also come in and play a point forward type position. Last year when Lonzo got hurt, Brandon Ingram came in and he was dishing out assists like you wouldn't believe. He proved that he could play that point forward type position. Now coming in for him off the bench is Lance Stevenson. Now Lance is just like him again. He's a lengthy defender with long arms who can get in the middle of passing lanes, disrupt plays, but he's also a scorer. He's a guy that can come off the bench. He's a guy that can give you 12 to 15 points a game and really not change what the Lakers want to do. Okay, because a lot of teams get disrupted. They get in a situation where their starters go off and they have to change their entire flow, their entire game plan, because their backups simply aren't qualified to run the same type of role. So then the Lakers go and they get these guys coming off the bench, that like Lance Stevenson, who is a carbon copy of Brandon Ingram. Okay, but it gets even better because they keep Lou Deng on the roster, which means next year that's even more money that's going to go towards salary cap. That's to add with all the one-year contracts. Suddenly you're talking about a massive amount of money to bring in another superstar or two next season. Now, the prize of free agency. The Lakers went out and hired LeBron James. We straight up got LeBron James. What does this mean? Well, simply put, there's nobody on this planet that is stopping LeBron James at the power forward position. He's quicker, he's stronger, he's faster, he's more aggressive, and he's physically more dominating than just about anybody in the NBA. You have him leading or finishing, and the Lakers are instantly a playoff team or better. And you add him into a natural position to where he's not having to spend 42 minutes a game like he has in many of his other teams, because his backup is Kyle Kuzma. And Kyle Kuzma is one of the most exciting young players on the Lakers. He's a guy that's going to get under LeBron James's wing and literally learn the intricacies of what makes LeBron LeBron. And what that's going to do is that's going to elevate Kuzma to the next level. Okay, so when you're talking about a backup like Kuzma coming off the bench for someone like LeBron, you're instantly talking about a very solid power forward position, especially if he comes out and he plays small forward. He can play sometimes shooting guard, who knows? But Kyle Kuzma coming off the bench for LeBron James is unreal. Okay, now you add in maybe a Channing Frye to the mix. Suddenly we're absolutely loaded at power forward position. We're loaded there. Then the only thing we really have to worry about is the center position. So what do? We signed JaVale McGee. McGee is a guy that's got multiple championships. He's played on the Golden State Warriors. He runs a high tempo. He blocks shots, protects the rim, gets rebounds, gets second chance points. He is pretty much everything the Lakers have wanted out of a center. And the fact that he's going to be with a player like LeBron is insane. The fact that LeBron has a big man with his athleticism and defensive prowessness is going to go a massive long way. So people are going to start talking about, well, what about the stretch center? Last year we had Brook. Well, in case you didn't notice, we went out and we signed and drafted Mo Wagner, whatever you want to call him. This is a guy in the first round that can light up the three-point range. He's already coming out in the summer league, and he's already nailing three-point shots for us. He's a very athletic, he's a good passer, he can get in the paint, he likes to rebound, he's a little bit more aggressive on the defensive side than Brook. And simply put, he's going to come off the bench and he's going to stretch. And that's going to be his role. So, when we got that kind of talent, add in a Zubac as your number 3rd center. Suddenly the Lakers have a roster that's extremely deep. Now they want to talk about beating the Golden State Warriors, beating the Houston Rockets. Well, here's the thing. The Golden State Warriors began struggling last year. Their prize for free agency was DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins may not even come back at 100%. He may not even be that great to play. And honestly, it's going to be a matter of time before when he comes on the court, they're going to have to figure out who's getting the ball. Because the Warriors have a lot of Chiefs and no Indians. They have a lot of playmakers, but nobody that's going to feed them. So, to me, I think adding DeMarcus Cousins is only going to take away from the guys they have. And I think it's going to disrupt things. I do think Houston's a little bit better, but who knows? Because they got rid of Trevor Ariza, and that was one of their best sixth men. That was a guy that came off the bench, provided outstanding defense for him, and could get open and nail threes. He fit into Mike D'Antonio's system like a glove. So, who even knows if Houston is going to be as good as they were last year? I'm seeing the West as a 3-team race right now. I see it as being between Golden State, Oklahoma City, and LA. And then maybe you can add in Houston from there. But right now, the Lakers have just jumped up a few spots for contention. And I can't wait for this year. That's my analysis. What do you guys think? Comment in the box below. Look me up. Hit that notification. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And go Lakers. Peace. Duncan out.